Hi, fellas, went back again. Yeah, so this happened some time ago. I snapped the head of the bolt and thought I should go in with a replacement now. So all that work is going on. While I was fixing the bash plate, I thought I'll go ahead and fix this as well. Meanwhile, for all the fellows who keep asking me whether, I mean, they've watched a video of an English guy, old man ADB, I believe, and he's spoken about adding two washers here to kind of release, to kind of balance that, even that gap out in between the oil pump gear and the oil pump itself. So, I mean, I believe his machine had only one washer, this fella, but my machine has two washers, one in the front, one in the rear. So I don't want to be messing around with this. Anyway, so that being said, there is a little bit of a play, but I don't think that ought to be a concern, is because the factory engineers. Yes, this is surprisingly loose. Can't really help it. I mean, if I were to just, I don't know. I don't know. Looks loose, but hopefully that is how it should be. So pulling out the clutch, swapping out the inner basket, or what do you call it? Clutch plate, clutch stay, and then we'll see. All burnt clutch plates. All that beating, all that revving on sand, and that is what you met with. You met with a bunch of burnt plates. This I know for a fact has nothing, almost nothing compared to the new pressure plates. That has to go. And even the clutch plates. The last time I swapped out the clutch plates, I left the clutch plates in. I only swapped out the pressure plates. But this time, even this completely burnt. It's all because of the sand riding. The sand riding business takes a toll on the clutch. Yeah, so just letting you know, proactive maintenance. So yeah, this entire set has to go. One more thing that I had a difficulty with is the head of a bolt that broke, and the rest of the bolt is stuck in there. So I'll have to go to a lathe and machine it out. Or I also have a replacement for this. I have a new part for this. I'll go in with that. Anyways, the basket looks okay. There's no pitting, no grooves, no marks on the forks or the lips, and yeah. Yep. So this is what broke. You guys can see. Just look at that. I really don't know what to say about this. This is a 7-year-old motorcycle, so I can still be okay with something like this. But then again, if this was in the middle of a trip and this bloody fella broke, done. You can't shift gears. You can't figure out. I mean, this is not easily available in Royal Enfield showroom, so you don't really know. It's the spring inside that helps you get this to latch on to the shift cog, which is right here behind. So there's the shift cog, and this fellow is the selector. And this spring allows you to do, allows the lever to fall back into its neutral position after every time you shift a gear. But once this is broken, it'll stay in the selected gear. That's about it. And look at that. Look at the quality of this. Just broke like that. Something as important as that. Breaking off. A common problem in the 411s. Out with the broken one. That's where it broke. In with the new. There are these clips. You'll have to open them. Pull these fellas out first. Thoroughly clean this end. This end sticks out from there. It has all the muck over the years sticking to it. Clean this very well before you pull this out. And then once you pull it out, get the circlip out, put the spring in, align the spring the thongs of the spring to hold that end of this selector, and then in goes this to show to you how this works. That's that washer. There you go. And this has to hold this fella. There you go. Perfect. Now the selector will go on top of this. That is what selects the gear and the cogs. There you go. Job done. Went in with 12 Newton meters, and all's well. Still couldn't get a replacement for that, the housing. So just getting done with 5 bolts and 5 bolts only. I know this is committing a crime, but I put this to the test. Now, why I think 5 bolts are enough is because of this steel plate. This is not going to warp. Definitely not going to warp. This would easily be about 2.5, 3 millimeters wide. And this bloody thing can take on spring tension. I just know that. And all these springs are Hitchcock. They aren't the factory spring. There's only one factory spring that is on this bolt where there's no head, but everything else is a Hitchcock spring. And the last time I only swapped 3, but this time I went in with all 5 Hitchcock springs and only one factory spring, just to have good tension on the clutch plates. Yeah, so that's that. For all the fellows who wanted to know the weight of these two components, the bash plate from SW Motec and the crash guards from SW Motec, both put together, you'll be surprised, 5 kgs. Interesting, isn't it? 5 kilos. And that's the beauty of it. 5.100 or so, because there's an additional panel that I haven't included, 5,100 grams. So that's the beauty of good quality components. They weigh less, but they are super rigid and super strong. If this were to be locally manufactured, this would easily exceed 7-8 kgs. Easily. If you were to have a 4mm aluminum sheet here, locally manufactured, it's definitely going to be heavier. This is a different grade aluminum, much better. And this is also very good quality steel. Stiff, rigid, but not heavy. And that's the beauty of it. 5 kgs, that's all there is for the protection part of it. Nothing else. That's all that I rely on for protection. And super happy with SW Motec. The fact that they made something like this for this motorcycle. This is a magic liquid. The build is done. Got the gear selector spring replaced, new clutch pack, all done. Everything torqued to spec. Going in with the AMSOIL 10W50. And with 10W, the oil pump shooting the oil straight to the head is quicker. It's always faster. The bike settles down quickly on this into the normal running temperature. So again, I trust this oil more than anything. The engine rev, the way it revs, is at least 10% better than the next oil that I've tried, and I've tried almost everything in the market. So yeah, almost 1.75 is the capacity. These are imported oils. They're about 950 mils. So you'll have to plan accordingly. You can get 2 for this fella and 3 for the 450.